This is Corinthian, sorry, almost said Observious, but this is Corinthian bringing you guys a quick message just saying, hey, I'm back in the area. I'm, back in Kingdoms at War. I'm testing out a different recording software, slightly different. It seems to be pretty cool. I've got the screen a little bit bigger, so this should be HD resolution, I believe, but I could be mistaken. But you can see I've got all this set up. But aside from just saying hello, I'm back, I figured I'd show you guys an interesting little minigame that you guys can play when you have spare gold in your while it's out. This could be like while you're waiting on regens, and so I'm actually going to go ahead and dump on this uncompleted quest, sort of get people in the right spirit. I don't want them to be doing this when they have troops or spies to spend. Like, oh, okay, that guy had 9 items. Let's go ahead and steal from someone else. Nope, his spy defenses are too high. You can see mine right there. About 162,000 at full. And yes, I'm not adding in this music afterwards, provided it's recording. If you don't hear anything, then ignore that. But we will see. I'm gonna go ahead and steal. Nope, he has 9 items. Did I steal from you earlier? I'm not too certain. But gonna go ahead and go after King Alain. Not quite certain there. Farther, for those who are mainly watching my YouTube for the League of Legends videos, I will continue putting those up. No worries there. I guess that's low enough. So, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Hire More Allies screen, and a market that, at least before I vanished, used to sell for at a fairly rapid ratio was the 1 million ally market. And so what you're going to do is go ahead and just go to the 1 million at search. You're going to go ahead and buy, hit buy, and just keep on buying allies all the way down. You're going to buy up the entire page, and this will go until you run out of gold. But you're going to see exactly how hard that is. Did I already buy you guys? Yep, I did. Bad on me. Now, something that is a little bit interesting is that if you hit the space bar twice, I believe, while it's doing that little spinning, you'll hit the OK there, and it'll say like you can't purchase an ally you already bought instead of hitting another ally to purchase. And of course, the reason why I'm hitting the spacebar in the first place is to just hit that OK button without having to go ahead and click on the actual OK button. Just a little bit more speed there. Alright, so we've got the 1 million thing. Let's go ahead and go to 900,000. That would be about here. Someone's already buying allies from me. You can see that up. Yep, there's already been 6 repurchases from there. We'll keep an eye on that little news counter. We're going to go ahead and just keep on buying allies. And as much as I'd like to go over the basics of, see, I hit it twice and it says you can't purchase an ally you already own after I purchased it. That's just a small little bug. Ignore it. But the main thing is you're going to be buying allies from 1 million to 500,000, and the main way that you are going to end up banking it is because you're going to be going a little bit away from that 1 million ratio. Not ratio, but how should I say this, the price bracket. And for those who don't know about the ally system, what all it's about, basically when you join the game, you will start off with the price of 10,000 gold, and the person who owns you gets basically 1/50th of your stats added to, well, 1/50th of your ally bonus added to their stats. And so it can be a sizable bonus for owning some of the endgame people, but also it gives you ally plunder, which is the actual amount you have invested in allies. So because the windows are actually going down farther on one page, I'm just going to go ahead and go back to 1 million. If you start owning everyone on a single page, like on the 1 million page and on the 900,000 page, you can go down to the 700,000 page and so on, and that'll keep you busy for some time. And as we look, you're going to see that because I'm actually owning these, later on when the database updates, you're sometimes going to get please try again later, and that means someone else is purchasing, that I'm actually going to have to go to other pages. So I went to 900,000, and you can already see some of these guys already here. I'm actually already into the 700,000s, and I'm going to have to try again later, so I'm going to go ahead and buy him again. Another reason that some of your money will stay banked, even though most of these purchases will be bought back in the course of the next day, 2 days, 3 days, and so on, is that these prices will go over the 1 million range, and once it's over 1 million, you will generally see them not get purchased as much, as generally the reason that 1 million is such a popular range, aside from being just a nice round number, is that it is also the max higher price you can get. So if someone buys you, like say how I'm buying these people, they're getting a small percentage of this cost, as well as their owner getting a small profit off of it. And so what's going on here is that some people who cost millions and billions of gold will keep on getting that percentage until it reaches 1 million gold, and then it will stay at 1 million gold for all future purchases above that mark. And so because they, log in and they go, oh, I have 1 million, I'll just spend it on an ally, and that just seems like the logical thing to do. So once again, I've already gotten everything from the 900,000. We're trying to get this to 0. Hopefully it won't take too long, as that would be a little bit embarrassing. But you can see it's just kind of passing the time. You don't have to go over to the forums and be like, oh yes, let's play some rate game. So it's like, aha, let me go over to... there's no rating game. Where's this? Alright, rate the person above you. I don't have to go over there and just type in random numbers. Why type in random numbers when you can actually make a small profit? Although, I kind of wish I actually did take down my starting amount of gold. I believe it was around the bracket of 72 million? Not too certain right there. But we're going to see eventually when it gets all unbanked. And by the way, if you ever do just want a little bit of spending money back, a very simple thing that you can do is just not buy anything for a full regen. And of course, a regeneration is of course going to be 5 minutes, as that is when your troops and spies will regenerate towards that max cap. So we're just going to keep on trucking, hitting that buy button, going on and on and on. For anyone who's new to Kingdoms at War, you'll notice that some of these banners are defensive with the blue. Then there's the banner of the Monarch, which is green, and the banner of the Conqueror, which is of course the red banners. And these banners are mainly effective for the initial starting phase, where you have a bunch of tier 1 or just starting level buildings, and they have more of a weight there. But because they give raw stats, they don't really scale too well into tier 2 and later levels. But they're basically there so that way when you have no troops or spies, you always have a % chance to win. And I believe the minimum chance to win is 1%, but then again that might be slightly too high, and so it could be some smaller percentage. But basically the banner ensures that no matter how badly the odds are against you, you always have a chance of winning either the attack or the defense. So we've already gone to go ahead and bought up that section, so we're going back to 1 million, and we're just going to go ahead and keep hockey boarding back and forth, buying up allies as we please. On a side note, one time I did do this, recording once before I took a break from KW, and the Internet Explorer crashed from just the fact that I was recording and doing this set of transactions over and over and over again, as I believe Kingdoms at War is run through Flash, although you have to have, in order to just access it, you have to have either it installed on an iDevice being an iPad, iPhone, iTouch, stuff like that, or have a Facebook and just log in on the PC or Android or something like that, I suppose. Various apps and so on, just to get into a web browser. And have a Facebook and or have a Mochi Games account, and of course just go to www.kingdomsatwar.com and just follow the instructions there. If you just hit play, you'll be prompted with a login screen if you're not already logged into Facebook. And Mochi Games, I think, actually has a separate link, so you'll have to figure that out there. For those of you that have an iDevice and want to play on the PC and on the iDevice simultaneously, or not simultaneously, but have the option of having the same account on both PC and iDevice, what you'll do is you'll log in, you'll go to the link iPhone button, and you'll just go from there. So you can already see that, hey, there's not a lot in that range. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and buy these guys, and then we're going to go ahead and go down to the 800,000 range. And you can see that my gold is getting down. It is down to 24,000. I'm getting the Trigon later, but I'm not going to be deterred. I'm going to go ahead and hit purchase right again on that ally. And basically I'm just giving these guys free money, and I'm making a little bit of money myself. Now the interesting bit is There's something in this game called stripping, where what you do is you go up to someone's profile and you buy up all of their allies, which immediately unbanks their gold and puts it out here onto that total. And then, you know, you attack or steal that ally and so on, and that's stripping someone of their gold. So some people actually actively try to keep allies at the 1 million gold mark, at the 500,000 mark, and so what you'll get is 1 or 2 wall posts saying to stop stripping them, and you'll get threats, but that's very, very rare, and they generally never follow through, since they are in fact only owning 1 million gold allies, when the actual amount that people usually start banking gold in allies is usually around 100 million. But it is just something to consider, and you can see at this stage you're going to see a bunch of 400, 200, 150, 150, or 300, 300, 150, 150, and that's basically the starting stats that you'll get just from doing the tutorial. So we're going to go ahead and go back to 1 million, see if anything's opened up over there, and what this is the maximum cost that you're searching for versus the lower cost. So I'm not going to see really anything above the 1 million mark, but I'll see stuff below that up to however far it scans. And of course this is the minimum cost is 500,000, but it doesn't quite show all the way to 500,000, as I've shown you guys by searching at different maxes. And so I'm going to go ahead and go back to 900,000, keep on purchasing. You can see that earlier I believe I was at 24 when I last checked in, now I'm down to 11 or so. But I am slowly banking it all. You can see that 11.5, we're waiting for this buying ally to finish. It's taking an enormously long amount of time. If it doesn't finish spinning soon, I'm actually going to come out positive, and sure enough the gold has updated with the news as well, and I'm up to 12 million, but now it's saying 10,900,000 and something, so possibly I was attacked somewhere in here, and I'm going to have to look at the news later to see exactly what's all going there. Meanwhile, for those listening in, I do hope that music isn't too loud, and of course if you guys aren't hearing any music, then I'm insane, and disregard that. But I'm trying to do it with stuff on, and fittingly enough, the tune that's currently on is Race Against Time, as that is exactly the goal of this. I didn't start off with a full 100 million, which is about where you want to start this off at. You want to try to start off with 100 million, then just try to bank it as fast as possible. And who knows, maybe if it catches on, then it'll, one, make this whole buy-sell trade bit a little bit faster, since everyone's going to be buying even more at this price range when they're bored. And also we can just do like fastest times of banking X amount in these silly allies. And what some people will find is that they'll actually reach the ally cap, which starts off, I believe, at 200 allies and goes up 50 every time you reset per land completion. If you've only completed the first 25 lands, you will only get 50 slots. If you reset at the full 50 lands, which includes the 25 Highland lands, then I'm at insufficient funds, and sure enough I'm down to 20,000. Something does not seem right. Alright, so we see all of these purchases. I've got 132 allies, which is amazing, but alright, the king, what's his name, attacked me, so I did lose 1 million there, but that's about it, unless it was kicked off of my battle list. But alright, I guess that's about it for this. I did end up at 132 allies. We'll wait for the news just to see how much I'm going to unbank. You can see that I have a bunch of just over 1 million allies, and it goes down in price range for all of the different allies you own, all the way down to, what's my lowest price, 573,000. So that's a fairly good range, and just waiting for that news update so we can see exactly what all I ended up at. While we wait up for that, I'm going to go ahead and visit this Edward 304 guy and steal from him. Turns out I'm going to fail because he has potions. Someone's actually going to go ahead and follow me, so I'm going to go ahead and follow them back because I'm nice. And sure enough, I've got 3 million out. I could go back and I could buy either 3 of those 900k allies, or just keep on trading. And so, I mean, if you run out of money and you're like, oh man, I was having fun clicking those buttons, just wait 5 to 15 minutes, and sure enough, you'll have gold out to do that again, plus the regeneration from your soldiers and spies. And this is at the very base level of ally trading, where you just mindlessly buy allies. As you get into higher amounts of gold, you'll have to look in and try to buy allies that have good stats for their price, allies that are active, stuff like that. And of course, if you ever go look at the world chat, you should see, yep, hire my ally please. People will be looking for them to buy their ally so they can make money. Some people will be asking to be volleyed, which is basically where two players take one ally and hire them back and forth repeatedly, and that person of course just gets gold for that. And the person who keeps the ally loses money, of course, because that money is banked. And the person who, of course, gets them up to that price makes a little bit of money as well. And of course, you can see all sorts of different advertisements and so on. I do hope no one's breaking the terms of use in World Chat, since I am showing it off to the YouTube community. And I'm going to go ahead and pop back into Clan Chat, where the muted Outdoor Toast permanently is, of course, talking in the clan topic, and of course she's going to go ahead and say, oh, I won't be able to derail at this time, talking about my recording. So I guess that's about it. You can see that someone had sent me a PM earlier, and even more of my allies are being bought, and so less than 5 minutes later, I believe, I'm already back up to 19 million, and so I could go back and just jump right back into the fray and continue to purchase. And before I upload this video, I am going to go ahead and let all of these allies get unbanked, and I'll tell you guys exactly how much gold I made in this short amount of time. And I hope you guys liked it. I'm back around the Kingdoms at War community. I will still be uploading some League of Legends videos for all of those who are concerned about that. And I hope you guys like this whole little ally trading minigame that not too many know about. That's about it, and that's Corinthian signing off.